Our top story tonight, FBI agents say they foiled a plan to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, target law enforcement officers, and start a, quote, civil war.
6 men now facing federal charges tonight. 7 more after facing facing state charges. The FBI says they were training and rehearsing for months.
Authorities say it was all part of a larger plan to overthrow government and law enforcement. News Nation anchor Rudabeh Shabazi joining us now with the details of this pretty stunning investigation. Rudabeh.
Rob, the FBI began the investigation earlier this year and used undercover informants after finding out through social media that the group was discussing the violent overthrow of government and law enforcement. Authorities say the men were arrested in eastern Michigan when they were meeting to pool funds for explosives and exchange tactical gear. According to the FBI, the plan was to take Whitmer to Wisconsin and hold a kangaroo court trial for treason.
Earlier today, Attorney General Dana Nessel was joined by officials from the Department of Justice and the FBI to announce state and federal charges against 13 members of 2 militia groups who were preparing to kidnap and possibly kill me.
6 men are charged in an alleged plot to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer and attempt to overthrow the government. Prosecutors say they went as far as to find and watch her vacation home and build bombs. The suspects are identified as Adam Fox, Barry Croft, Ty Garbin, Caleb Franks, Daniel Harris, and Brandon Caserta.
The individuals in custody are suspected to have attempted to identify the home addresses of law enforcement officers in order to target them, made threats of violence intended to instigate a civil war, and engaged in planning and training for an operation to attack the Capitol building of Michigan and to kidnap government officials, including the governor of Michigan.
The owner of this vacuum repair shop in Grand Rapids, where Fox was staying, says he's known him since he was a child.
He has changed in the last 8 months with COVID, wearing a mask. He believes his Constitution rights were taken away from him. He's afraid that if the Democrats become in, he kept saying they're going to take our Second Amendment rights away.
According to the FBI, talk of targeting the governor surfaced as early as June when Fox and other militia members met in Ohio. The group was allegedly angry about Whitmer's mandates to shut down businesses in response to the coronavirus pandemic. According to the federal complaint, they talked about storming the state capitol in Lansing and killing police officers. But when that idea was shot down, the focus turned to the governor's vacation home. The suspects allegedly found an address for the home and went there on August 29th to scope it out. Investigators say Fox ultimately bought a taser to use in the attack. In addition to discussing various bombings, Garbin allegedly suggested blowing up a nearby bridge in an effort to slow the police response.
Just last week, the President of the United States stood before the American people and refused to condemn white supremacists and hate groups like these 2 Michigan militia groups. Stand back and stand by, he told them. Stand back and stand by. Hate groups heard the president's words not as a rebuke, but as a rallying cry, as a call to action. When our leaders speak, their words matter. They carry weight. When our leaders meet with, encourage, or fraternize with domestic terrorists, they legitimize their actions, and they are complicit. When they stoke and contribute to hate speech, they are complicit.
The Attorney General filed additional charges against 7 other people linked to the militia group Wolverine Watchmen, all now in custody, including Michael and William Null, who spoke to our News Nation station in July for a profile on militia groups.
Some of the events that we're at, we don't really actually don't even agree with, but as constitutionalists, you have the right to protest as long as you're peaceful.
In a statement, White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany said Whitmer is the one causing division, saying, quote, President Trump has continually condemned white supremacists and all forms of hate. Governor Whitmer is sowing division by making these outlandish allegations. America stands united against hate and in support of our federal law enforcement who stopped this plot. Marnie?